My name is Allie Winters, and I have the pleasure of being the senior class president. I would like to welcome you all to the 69th Sandy Valley Graduation Commencement. We are the class of 2023. Now everyone please rise. Gentlemen, please remove your hats as our select choir sings the national anthem. After that, please join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the Please be seated. I would like to take this time to bring your attention to some of our seniors. We have 3 men in our graduating class that have decided to join our military. Would they please stand when their name is called, and audience, please hold your applause until the end. Thomas Dickey, U.S. Air Force. Broderick Diss, U.S. Navy. And Malachi Hall, U.S. Marine Corps. Thank you for your commitment to serve our nation. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce our select choir as they perform Go the Distance.
I have often dreamed of a far-off place where a hero's welcome will be waiting for me, where the crowds will cheer when they see my face, and a voice keeps singing, "This is where I'm meant to be." I'll be there someday. I can go the distance. I will find my way. If I can be strong, I know every distance, I'll be right where I belong. Down an unknown road to embrace my fate. Though that road may wander, it will lead me to you. 1,000 years would be worth the wait. It might take a lifetime, but somehow I'll see it through, and I won't look back. I can go the distance, and I'll stay on track. No, I won't accept defeat. It's an uphill slope, but I won't lose hope till I go the distance and my journey is complete. But to look beyond the glory is the hardest part, for a hero's strength is measured by his heart. Like a shooting star, I can go the distance. I will search the world. I will face its hearts. I don't care how far. I can go the distance till I find my hero's welcome waiting in your arms. In your arms.
Thank you, Mrs. Humphrey and choir. It was a great performance. It is my pleasure to introduce my good friend, the Vice President, Thomas Dickey.
Thank you, Allison. I have the high honor of introducing to all of you our administration staff. First, the Superintendent of Sandy Valley, Mr. David Fisher. Our Board of Education, President Mr. Steve Pomeski, Vice President Dr. Joseph Wigfield, Board Member Mr. Scott Bowman, Board Member Mrs. Amy Snyder, Board Member Mr. Ike Winters, and Mrs. Tricia Schreffler, Treasurer of Sandy Valley. Our school administrators, Mr. Matt Whitted, High School Principal, Mr. Garth Evans, Assistant Principal and Athletic Director, Mr. Chris Pollard, Principal, Assistant Principal, I apologize, Mrs. Melissa Keel, Middle School Principal, and Mr. Jeff Wagner, Curriculum Director. Thank you to all of you who made this day possible, from Mr. John Petro, the custodial staff, and every staff member here at Sandy Valley. At this time, I would love for all the seniors who earned magna cum laude, and summa cum laude to stand up to be recognized with a round of applause. Congratulations to all of you. As Vice President, I also get to introduce the class secretary, Mrs. Mackenzie McLemore.
One of my roles as class secretary is the honor to introduce the valedictorian of the class. This year, Sandy Valley has two worthy individuals. The first co-valedictorian is an individual who is compassionate, dedicated to learning, and most definitely very intelligent. I would like to introduce Dina Peterson.
It's likely that many of us have a memory like the one I'm going to share in a second. So I invite you to reach down into the deep recess of your minds and think back to 5th grade. I remember in 5th grade, we had a project where we had to outline what we wanted to be when we grew up. We took some time as we considered what we might be doing in the next 10 years. The words doctor, lawyer, vet, and teacher were displayed all over the blue bulletin board with gold trimming. Our dreams back then were so big and so bold. But then we hit high school, and we are gonna change the world, but maybe we realized that, I'm actually not a fan of kids. Teaching isn't for me. Or becoming a doctor means I have to deal with blood. That's definitely not my route. Or I don't really like sitting still. Being a good lawyer will be hard for me. So we've rewritten our dreams. When I was in 5th grade, I wanted to be a veterinarian. Now I'm going to school for creative writing. But you see, that's okay. As we've grown and explored, we've discovered what we like and what we don't like. We've been introduced to reality, but for some of us, instead of keeping the size of our dreams and changing our plans, all too often we've let the obstacles in front of us tell us that our dreams are too lofty. Maybe it was our rationale or our reality that told us our dreams were unattainable. But in 5th grade, we were much less educated, prepared, and knowledgeable. And yet our dreams were bigger, less constricted, and more exciting. We didn't limit ourselves then, so why would we start now? We're more prepared to tackle bigger things now than we were in 5th grade. But I wonder, in 5th grade, what made us think that we had to be the doctors and lawyers to go out and change the world? Did something tell us that these were the jobs that made a difference? And so if we wanted to make a difference, we had to have these jobs? But then what changed? And what made us think that they were too big of dreams? You see, society likes to look at the doctors and lawyers and term those positions as big dreams. But I disagree. I think a big dream is less of where you are and more of choosing to make the most impact you can no matter where you are. This means that you can be a big dreamer even if you don't plan to be a doctor or a lawyer. Just don't limit what you can do wherever you end up. Because in reality, we can't all be the doctors and lawyers. Who would be the waitresses that make us smile, and the mothers who raise our kids, and the pastors who pray for us, and the actors who get us to laugh after a hard day, and the bricklayers who build our homes so that we can sleep at night knowing that our walls won't fall in, and the welders who make sure our cars stay together when we drive them. Because we need those just as much as we need doctors and lawyers. But often these jobs get filed away and forgotten, undervalued. You don't have to make 6 figures to impact someone's life for the better and dream big. And you definitely don't have to be well known to use your passions and skills to make a difference. So, go be the incredibly talented doctor who saves hundreds of lives. And go be the scientist who discovers the cure for dementia. Go be the mother who truly cares about her children and raises them to be strong, kind, and loving. Go be the accountant who puts his customers first, who demonstrates honesty and integrity. And go be the waiter or waitress who serves people so well that everyone they come into contact with leaves with a smile on their face. Don't let how society views your occupation to determine the amount of impact you can make on the world. Don't let struggles, challenges, and reality hamper your ability to dream big. Because all our lives, we've been told that we're the leaders of tomorrow. But now, we're transitioning into the leaders of today. But we've got to decide, what kind of leaders? Because whether we like it or not, we will make an impact on this world. How much of an impact, and good or bad, is up to us, completely up to us. Right now, we're in a transition stage that is perfect for dreaming big. One day, we will be looking back on our senior dreams Like today, we're looking back on our 5th grade dreams. And I don't want to say that my just graduated, ready to take on the world-sized dreams weren't big enough and then got trampled in the stark challenges of reality. My just graduated, ready to take on the world plans will most definitely change because I'll experience new things and I'll have to navigate being an adult and I'll have to face reality. But I don't want these twists and turns to crush my ability to dream big, no matter where I am occupationally. What I want you to know is you are valuable. You have a purpose and you can do big things, but you've got to choose to. You don't just do great things, you have to choose to take the first step, dream big. But why would you even choose to? Because this is about more than you. You have skills and gifts and insight that no one else has, and no one else can do what you can do. And no one else can impact the way you can. But we have to choose to make the difference we are capable of making. So don't limit yourself and don't settle. Don't lose the 5th grader faith in yourself that you can do hard things. Our plans and specifics can change, but let's not lose the size of our 5th grader dreams. Go Cards.
Thank you, Dina. Our second co-valedictorian is considerate, funny, hardworking, and smart. I would like to introduce Morgan Van Meter.
I heard this quote, and I thought it was fitting for today. Life is beautiful, not because of the things we see or do. Life is beautiful because of the people we meet. Good afternoon to all of the dedicated staff, loving family, and supportive friends here today. Most importantly, to all of my fellow members of the class of 2023, congratulations, we finally made it. For those of you who don't know me, I am Morgan Van Meter, a senior class officer, soccer player, and member of the student council, art club, and social justice team. I am committed to play college soccer, thoroughly enjoy creating art, and love attending concerts. Even with all of those clubs and characteristics, I have yet to say the most important things that define me, people. Out of all of the math equations I've solved, essays written, biology experiments completed, the most important thing I've learned in high school is to surround myself with truly good people, my friends. You are no better than the people you surround yourself with. The only reason I made it through my hardships and am able to stand here proudly and give this speech today is because of the people who have brought me here. Change is happening, a very bittersweet change. I'm sure we're all excited for the next steps in life. However, we are leaving the one thing we have known as long as we've been in school, the nest. This change, while it is very exciting, can also lead to feelings of stress. It is very common to find big changes overwhelming and frightening. Managing change can be very difficult, especially since stress and anxiety can present itself differently in every person. I, myself, have gone through a variety of changes. Some changes are smaller, and most of you have experienced them too, I assume. For example, getting taller and needing new clothes, or growing up and wanting a different haircut. Those are almost always good changes, but unfortunately, life is full of changes that aren't always pretty and are never planned. Personally, some of the bigger changes in my life were switching schools at a young age, changing the club soccer team I've been at for years, and my parents getting divorced. Each of these changes provided their own challenges and hardships, but nothing compared to what some of my other classmates have been through. My dad has a fancy way of describing how we collect all of the bad things and experiences that happen to us. He likes to say that we all have some sort of crap jar. The real word he uses is one I cannot say in front of all of the families here today, but you get the idea. Regardless of how big or small, Everyone has a jar full of the bad things that happen to us. Sometimes the smaller jars that aren't as full can affect people more than a bigger jar. Regardless of the size of your jar, the most important thing you can do with your crap jar is acknowledge it and manage it. When you end up with too many issues in your jar, it overflows, becomes unmanageable, and therefore becomes uncontrollable. An overwhelming amount of crap will create strong emotions and can dictate the decisions you make in life if you allow the emotions to overpower you. Overwhelming emotions can cause a variety of things. One of the most common is hurting the people you care most about. You may be wondering at this point, how am I supposed to deal with a crap jar? I'm still working out the kinks, but I think I have one of the most successful ways to deal with them. By tapping into my relationships, I am able to keep my jar from overflowing, keeping it in check. Now, I'm nowhere near perfect at fully grasping how helpful and meaningful relationships are to solving problems. However, I know whenever I utilize my relationships, the amount of stuff in my jar slowly begins to shrink and becomes manageable. And I know whenever I've messed up and taken my relationships for granted, there's nothing I regret more than those moments. So, whenever you are feeling like you don't know how to solve the big pile of crap in your jar, cherish the advice of the people who mean most to you. Although most of us graduating seniors are 18 or turning 18, and we are legally declared as young adults, not one of us here sitting today has the wisdom of our parents or the people we look up to. I know being independent is something we have looked forward to for a long time now. However, most of us hardly know how to take care of ourselves. We, for the first time in our lives, are moving on from the nest and learning how to fly. We don't know how to soar yet. Without their knowledge and wisdom, we will never be able to discover how to live outside of the nest. Cherish their advice. Maybe you feel lonely because the crap jar makes you feel small. To feel bigger, welcome the company of your friends and loved ones. Don't ever, and I mean ever, decline a trip to Dairy Queen because you have too much homework or you're too tired. You'll never know how much it might mean to your wellness or your family or friends' well-being. Whenever your friends need help studying or your family needs help with yard work, help them out. Boring tasks become rather fun and exciting when doing them together. Life is short. You only get so many opportunities to do things with your loved ones. Some of us are going to college, and others are starting to work every day, which makes us significantly more busy. Take the time while you have it and cherish their company. Despite my oldest brother's achievements, the one I've always admired the most is the fact that he is still friends with most of his high school and college friends after all of these years. He actively plays video games with them, golfs with them, and they always hang out every 4th of July. I believe success is defined by the people you surround yourself with, and I can only hope my friends and I become as successful as my brother at maintaining important relationships. You will also experience times where your crap jar is managed and you just need life advice. I hope you remember the last 4 years and cherish the lessons you learned in school. When you're sitting in a class and Mrs. Kale reminds you to think a little deeper, consider listening to her. She's the most intelligent person I know. Things in both school and life aren't always black and white, but there is most certainly a right from wrong, and be sure to know the difference. When Mr. Schwal gives you homework assignments every night without fail, he does not want to torture you. He knows that repetition and practice can really make a difference. So when your future sports team or workplace asks you to do something, don't complain and take the opportunity to learn. And when Mr. Litterdale tells you to treat people with respect, treat them with respect. Have a good character. It's the most important seed to plant in growing success. Cherish the lessons you have learned for the past 4 years. Change is happening, and there's nothing we can do to stop it now. This change should be a great change. We're graduating from high school. I know that despite this change being good, Change can be scary, trust me, but I truly believe that the class of 2023 will be all right because Sandy Valley taught us one of the most important life skills of all, how to build our own nest. We are grown-up Cardinals, and it's time to make life our own. Building a strong foundation to your nest by cherishing your relationships is the best thing you can do to manage stress, or should I say your crap jar, and set yourself up for success. I've had the time of my life graduating with you, class of 2023. It's hard to believe all of the time we spent together preparing ourselves for this moment is finally here. I hope you cherish the time you spent here, but now it's time to spread our wings and fly high like the Cardinals we have so proudly claimed to be these past few years.
I have the honor of introducing our next speaker. This quote, I believe, truly demonstrates our leader. It comes from the famous writer Maya Angelou, and she said this about leadership. I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. I think we can all agree that our high school career has been an interesting 4 years. We made it through a pandemic, and we are now trying to get back to normality. This gentleman has always maintained a positive attitude and made these years as calm and steady as possible. He did his best to make sure all of us were safe every day and always made sure to greet us all with a smile. He ends every speech or call with, "Go Cards." It is now my privilege to formally introduce the Superintendent of Sandy Valley Local Schools, Mr. David Fisher.
Thank you, Mackenzie. I am David Fisher, and I'm proud to be the superintendent at Sandy Valley Local Schools. It is with a great honor that I get to give my remarks to the class of 23. Everyone preps for graduation day differently. This wonderful event sometimes can lead to stress and anxiety. Did we remember to iron our graduation gown? Do we remember to invite all the relatives to our graduation party? Do we order a big enough cake? All these items might seem trivial. However, to the person worrying about them, it can become all-consuming. Some believe that too much attention to detail becomes a distraction, while others would argue that having every last detail planned out allows the individual to enjoy their day stress-free. Take something as simple as pronouncing your name. A Sandy Valley graduate who now works at Walsh University sent an article on her LinkedIn account titled, "Why Getting People's Names Right at Work Matters More Than You Think." The article goes on to state something as simple as pronouncing your name correctly builds rapport and a sense of loyalty to the organization. I would agree. But what's in a name? Some of our best graduates here today identify more than by their birth name. They are going to be engineering students, nursing students. They are carpenters, cosmetologists, and mechanics. And yet 3 others will be recognized for their military service with their enlistment in the Navy, Air Force, and Marines. Just know this, you are now and forevermore recognized by 2 other important names, Sandy Valley High School graduates and Cardinals. And those 2 names mean something very special. I conclude with this. Mr. Whitted, our high school principal, loves each and every one of his little birdies. And he is the one who has been obsessing over getting the pronunciation of each of your names correct. And I didn't need to read that article to know how much he and every staff member has built that report and loves this graduating class. I do know this, as he transitions to his new role next year as Director of Special Programs and Staff Development, he will continue to learn each Cardinal's name. He just won't have to sweat reading them aloud at next year's graduation. The new high school principal, though, Olivia Stamp, I hope she understands the importance of the name she will now represent as the high school leader of the Sandy Valley Cardinals. Oh, and by the way, Olivia, starting with the alphabet with A, your first student at next year's graduation might just be Michaela Alabakovsky. I would start practicing those names right now. Again, you are now and forever Cardinals and Sandy Valley High School graduates, and that means something special. Stay safe, stay positive, and go Cards. Congratulations and good luck to the class of 2023. It is now my honor to introduce our high school principal, Mr. Matt Whitted.
As high school principal, I am thrilled to announce that the class of 2023 has met all the requirements set forth by the state of Ohio and the Sandy Valley Board of Education and are prepared to graduate. At this time, we ask the audience to please show decorum with no yelling or screaming while I'm mentioning the names of our graduates. Would the board president, Mr. Steve Pomeski, Superintendent Dave Fisher, and my assistant principals, Mr. Evan and Mr. Pollard, please come forward to assist in the delivery of the diplomas. Will the first row now please stand? Tessa Leanne Bernauer. Aiden Daniel Everetts. Riley Sinclair Felton. Gavin Cooper Troy Fryer. Sharon Rose Green. Austin Michael Leary. Dina Lee Peterson. Morgan Elizabeth Van Meter. Elena Rose White. Jordan Paul Wigfield. Allison Ann Winters. Kenzie Renee Altamore. Macy Marie Barrymore. Boyer Simon Bean. Charles Leland Bender. Brandon Michael Boggs. Jillian Elizabeth Bonner. Joey Lynn Boyer. Logan Matthew Brill. Thomas Lee Charlie. Trenton Zachary Klein. Juliana Nicole Cloud. Mason Andrew Collins. Raven Nicole Cordia. Lillian Marie Coy. James Henry Crow. Lucas Allen Doherty. Sarah Isabel DeFord. Maya May Louise Delaney. Thomas Matthew Dickey. Carson Nicole Dine. Broderick Benjamin Diss. Michaela Rose Eversole. Datia Shoshana Ferguson. Kaylee Jane Forrester. Emma Marie Frazier. Jamie Zachary Giordano. Krista Lynn Glazer. Jack Henry Gurley. Malachi Israel Hall. Brock Richard Heller. Odell Brandon Lee Henning. Layla Shea Hoover. Ashley Nicole Horsley. Paige Lynn Huff. Addison Lou King. Ethan Kaiser. Brianna Marie Lancer. Luke Daniel Laver. Rebecca Marie Leib. Alexis K. Lumbert. Emma Ann Mace. Victoria Lita Madison. Logan Allen Maurer. Peyton Tyler McDonald. Mackenzie Grace McLemore. Derek Bryson Midcap. Ryan Andrew Mills. Trapper David Mole. Dana Elizabeth Morgan. Brock Aiden Moyer. Natalia Soleil Nelson. Nathaniel Patrick Overly. Audrey Lynette Pahanish. Shane Xavier Nesbitt. I did pronounce it right. My bad, Shane. Jordan Michelle Parker. James Cole Pico. Alonzo Rain Pouchet. Jackson Carter Penrod. Stephen Augustus Reinhardt Pollock. Carter Isaiah Rice. Connor David Ritter. Jasmine Marie Rock. Zachary Connor Shirey. Angelina Marie Shundry. Jordan Daniel Simpson. Evan Thomas Smith. Pierce Tyler Steele. Rebecca Lynn Sterling. Silas James Stout. Nicholas Andrew Stropke. Alexander Lewis Trilly. Trenton Robert Vandermeulen. Michaela Christine Vickers. Zachary Joseph Walker. Alicia Nicole Weaver. Antonio James Wolf. Destiny Nicole Williams. Nicole Marie Williams. Anna Jean Wireman. Jonathan James Wood. Melissa Renee Zinn. Ladies and gentlemen, I proudly present to you the class of 2023. At this time, I would like to present you our class treasurer, Morgan Van Meter, for the tassel presentation.
The tassel symbolizes your time as a student. When you move it to the other side, you are confirming your newfound graduate status. Today, this simple but beautiful tradition is performed at commencements across our nation. I have the distinction of leading our class in a traditional event. So, fellow classmates, please rise to demonstrate the start of our new future and opportunities. I am excited to see all the things this class will accomplish. So now, will you join me in our first act by turning our tassels from right to left? Oh my gosh.
Okay, I have one small quote that I would like to leave our class with. When Elle Woods delivered her graduation speech at Harvard in Legally Blonde, she said it is with passion, courage of conviction, and strong sense of self that we take our next steps into the world. Remembering that first impressions are not always correct, you must always have faith in people. And most importantly, you must always have faith in yourself. Congratulations, class of 2023. We did it! Now, will everyone please rise and join in the singing of our school's alma mater? You may be seated. Now we are going to continue a tradition. Today, we will be tossing our caps right here on the field. Parents, please get your phone or cameras ready. I will do a countdown as we toss our caps in the air. Yeah, grads, stand up. Are we ready?
Then you should have taken him out.
You were the target. Walking out?
Waiting on the band.
You're just gonna.